Have you ever wondered why the same amount of money that could fill a shopping basket a few years ago can barely buy a few items today? What happened to the value of our money? The answer is inflation. And understanding inflation is very important in this our journey to understanding cryptocurrency. Understanding inflation and how it has affected the value of money is very important in this our journey. And also understanding inflation is a key point to us understanding the vital role it has played in the development of cryptocurrencies. You are welcome once more to the MDB Crypto Academy. In today's lesson, we are going to be discussing about inflation and how inflation has affected the value of our money. How inflation led to the birth of cryptocurrency. So, what is inflation? Inflation is simply a gradual increase in the prices of goods and services over time. That means the prices of goods and services, the same amount of money you could use to purchase the same amount of goods and services back then, is no longer the same. Money has gradually lost its purchasing power. So as the prices increases, the purchasing power of money falls. So why are some of the reasons why inflation came in? Sometimes the demand of goods is higher than the supply. Sometimes the production costs are very expensive. And in most cases, the central banks and the government increase the amount of money in circulation, and thus that reduces the value of each cent, each unit of that currency. So when the government increases the amount of money in circulation, the value of each unit of that currency reduces. So practically, how can inflation affect us in our day-to-day life? How can inflation affect us? Let's take, for example, a civil servant. You are working on a constant salary. Your salary is stable. I mean, constant. It doesn't increase. But the prices of goods and services kept on increasing. So, in turn, you are forced to readjust your living standards because the same amount of goods you used to purchase with your salary, you can no longer purchase that same amount of goods today. And thus, that will affect your living standard. Let's talk about someone who saves money in the banks. Imagine you are saving, let's say, 1 million in your bank account today. Today, you could use 1 million to purchase a certain amount of goods. But say in a period of 5 years, 1 million can no longer purchase that same amount of goods. But in your bank account, you are still having your 1 million intact. But your 1 million can no longer purchase that same amount of goods as per the time you were depositing that money and saving it in your bank account. So your money has gradually loses its purchasing power. Let's talk about businesses. Higher cost of transportation, higher cost of production may lead to businesses increasing the prices of goods and services, and thus it's going to affect a local person. So what is the relationship between inflation and the birth of cryptocurrency? As years are going by, people kept on looking for means. They kept on looking for another form of money that cannot be created endlessly. This led to the birth of cryptocurrency. An anonymous guy in 2009 issued the first cryptocurrency, the Bitcoin, and he specified that there shall exist a maximum supply of 21 million only. So, regardless, Bitcoin shall never exceed 21 million. The total supply of Bitcoin is 21 million. That's why he stated in the white paper. Due to the limited supply, a lot of people started seeing Bitcoin as a store of value since there shall exist just 21 million pieces of Bitcoin. That means nobody is going to create more Bitcoins. Nobody, not the central control, is going to add more Bitcoins to exceed 21 million pieces. So there shall exist just 21 million pieces of Bitcoin. This has led to many enterprises, the government, also considering Bitcoin as a potential store of value because of its limited supply and for the fact that it runs on the decentralization algorithm and also runs on the blockchain technology, like we said before. So, other cryptocurrencies have started emerging. And the question should be, how are we going to integrate Bitcoin in our day-to-day life? How are we going to be using Bitcoin as a currency? How are we going to use cryptocurrency as a currency? That's a question that shall be answered in our subsequent videos because we are going to be dipping deep into cryptocurrency. We will understand everything about cryptocurrency. We will understand the terminologies I use, like the maximum supply, total supply, everything. We are going to understand everything as we move gradually from one lesson to another. So I encourage you to stay along, follow along, because we are on a journey to transforming a local beginner into a pro to understanding cryptocurrency. So inflation has taught us that money, we should not see money just like the figures in our bank account. The figures doesn't matter. We should not keep on looking at money from the perspective of the figures in our bank account. We should also consider the purchasing power of those figures. What can those figures buy? So, inflation led to the creation of Bitcoin, led to the creation of cryptocurrency entirely, which runs on the blockchain technology. So, in our next lesson, we are going to be discussing about the birth of Bitcoin. We are entering cryptocurrency into details from our next lesson. We are beginning cryptocurrency into details, and we are going to begin with the birth of Bitcoin. So, if you learned something in today's lesson, please like, subscribe, share, invite friends. Let's keep growing the channel and let's keep learning. I will see you on the next one. Until then, stay blessed.